You're listening to Challenge Takes Podcast, the only podcast that routinely skips recording weekly episodes. Welcome to the Challenge Takes Podcast, the hottest challenge takes on the internet. I'm Joe Puglisi, accompanied by Brian Smith.
Hello.
And we are here for episode 11.
Indeed.
And we will also be reviewing the episode from last week.
Well, not really.
Yeah, we're going to skim it.
If you want to just quickly dive through that.
Wow. Well, we're getting right into it.
Yeah, we are getting right into it. We got
places to be.
Well, not that important, but
yeah, it
comes first and foremost.
Yeah, of course. You guys are always our priority. Clearly,
Davon and Jose pulled double cross. We already knew that. They picked to go against Jose, and Davon and Jose picked to go against Paulie and Natalie. There was this whole read segment where they all yelled at where Angela and Natalie yelled at Cam, which was bizarre. And even TJ's been very pissed with the cast these past couple weeks.
Yeah, especially this episode 11.
But as I said in a hot take like a couple weeks back, Paulie and Natalie lose to Jose and Davon. So Jose and Davon lost that elimination and then came right back, and now they're back in the house again like nothing ever happened.
Wasn't that my hot take?
No, that was mine.
Oh yeah.
You've been on the Natalie and Paulie make the final train all season.
Yeah.
Which is still in play.
It's definitely potential. Wasn't that like my hot take that they get eliminated by Jose and Davon again, and then they go in a third time against Jose and Davon and make it to and win that time and go to the final?
That might have been what you said.
It's probably something like that.
Or just win something at the end. But
yeah, they
lose the puzzle because Natalie is quite terrible this season. She's lost every single one of these, and even blames herself, saying that it's her, admittingly that it's her fault. So at least kudos to her for that. And Paulie is still being as supportive a partner as he can, but I mean, what more can he do?
He's being a good boy.
The Purge Challenge, Ashley and Hunter win the Purge Challenge, and it ends on a cliffhanger with Cam and Kaylee going against Cara and Marie for the last place spot in that, which then kicks us off this week on the episode titled "You're the Worst."
Damn, that was a really fast skim.
Well,
is that all that happened that episode?
I mean, there were a few other, there were some minor conversations, but that was just the root of the competition.
Yep.
Because there's a lot of redemption stuff. CT was trying to politic Jose.
That was really funny.
The word politic is being used a lot.
Yeah, but that was rather hilarious.
It was, and he had that shirt with the muscles on him.
Why did he bring that to the challenge?
I don't know why he brought that.
He's sitting there packing his suitcase for the month that he's gonna be wearing. This is a good option. When he's going through his wardrobe.
Some of these people have weird fashion choices, weird things that they bring to the show.
Yeah.
Still can't get over that fucking helmet. that he brought that into the country. Shane has admitted, by the way, that he brought that helmet for the purpose of he knew that he was gonna get into a fight with the helmet. With it on, and it was going to be hilarious. And sure enough, that's what happened a few episodes ago.
God, these vets really can predict this stuff. Like Bananas having his sister write the notes.
Yeah.
Knowing that it's going to make a huge effect on the game.
But here we are. Start off this episode with Cam and Kaylee getting last and getting straight redemption. Unfortunate because they've played a really good game up to this point, but anything can happen in these purges. I've talked about I actually kind of like the purges. However, this kind of challenge, it was really hard for the girls because, eating is, it's one of those things where they have smaller stomachs. They can't get down everything as fast. Not everyone, but, it's just harder for them, It was no coincidence that the only two girls...
Well, I think you'd say, were any of the guy-girl teams have the girl as the eater?
No, Cara and Cam were the only two female eaters. And they were the last two. So
yeah.
No coincidence there. But yeah, they were the last one. So Cam and Kaylee are off to the redemption house.
No, let's say Marie was not crapping on Cara here because I think she knew that Cara still would have did better than her. But Kaylee was kind of giving it to Cam on in this regard, saying that that like just chew and swallow, like this is easy. But do you really think that Kayla would have did, or Kaylee would have did better?
I don't know. It's one of those things. You look at it and you seem like you can do it when your partner's not, but you haven't been in that position either.
Yeah, I don't know if she would have fared much better. But like hell, we haven't seen her do an eating challenge. Maybe she's got like a lead
Jose
belly.
was ridiculously good at this eating challenge. He was like dancing and like or dancing around while he was pounding all those plates.
Yeah, that was last week. I don't remember that shit. That was too long ago.
I remember that specifically. Okay, so we got to the Redemption House where right as they come in, Kaylee and Cam come in, Natalie immediately goes upstairs to her room.
Yeah, she pretty much says, "Oh my god," and fakes a little bit of excitement. And once Paulie was there as an excuse to talk to them, or like she used that as like her getaway.
It's like a friend off.
Yeah, she just tagged him in, and then she just booked it.
It is funny though. All the people. Paulie actually has good social skills and like will actually talk to people, whereas Natalie, he even admits that. It's like this is why people think Natalie is like
it's fake.
It's fake, and because she won't acknowledge people. She goes up to her room and sits by herself instead of hashing it out. Now she does end up coming around later in the episode, which we'll get to.
Yeah, the man of the season puts together the beautiful meeting between two minds.
Yeah, well, it really went well for TV purposes.
For TV purposes, it went great.
Paul, I feel like that's one of those things where you just put your producer hat on. You're just like, okay, they're gonna have a conversation. This is gonna make television. If shit goes down, it's gonna be a great TV moment. So let's do it. Because there's no negative repercussions to them having a fight. I don't think.
Yeah, what's it gonna do? Get worse?
Exactly. So they got to say what they say. If they come out of it, they're never gonna be friends. But if they could get through it, then they can get through it. If they still hate each other, they still hate each other. It was worth a shot. So producer Paulie coming through there. So we head out to the club, and this is where shit gets pretty crazy for the next at least 20 minutes, possibly longer.
Mm-hmm.
Where the challenge turned into full-on Bad Girls Club.
God, making more comments I don't get.
Well, it's just a general statement. Bad Girls Club is a lot of drunk girls fighting. And what was the next 20 minutes that we saw?
It seemed like it might have to do with a few drunk girls fighting.
Indeed. So, first we get another little follow-up here where Hunter is trying to recruit Joss for an alliance. Though it's just funny that he thinks he needs to do this, even though Ashley and Sylvia are so tight.
Yeah. And
like Joss doesn't seem to care. Like he'll just go with what Sylvia does. I don't think he's gonna bark back at her or like worry about what like political.
It's funny. Joss has like no political alignment other than the fact that he's aligned with Sylvia. So he just.
They said he was friends.
That's it.
They said he was friends with Kyle.
All right, cool.
Which I don't even know if that's a lie.
Yeah.
Because they burned their votes on Kyle.
Yeah.
And Zach and Tony acknowledged that they're boys here, and Zach said that Tony won't, or he said he trusts that Tony's got him. But I remember a specific incident, and I'm not sure if you remember this, but at the end of Vendettas, when Tony, Kayla, and Kara were the three Troika members, and they had to choose one guy to save for the take to the final with them. Tony did not want to save Zach, and Kara and Kayla convinced him because that they wanted a strong guy in the final, which it ended up not being the right decision for them because of the twist at the end, which is why they should have told them about that beforehand. But besides the point, they'd worked together all season. They were such a strong alliance, and Tony was going to backstab him at the end if the girls were down to do it. So Zach, careful what you're wishing for.
That is true, but we can also say that Tony was just a rogue man that year.
He screwed over Bananas.
I guess that would be earlier this year. So I get like last season, Tony was just on like a whole nother level. After flipping on Bananas, he was just a complete like unpredictable powder keg. Like you didn't know what he was gonna do and when he was gonna do it. He seems a little more stable this year.
Yeah. So here's where the drama unfolds. So Ashley and Kara have a conversation, and this is where you're just asking for trouble when you're trying to settle some differences here and hash out your issues with another person, while you both have been drunk from pounding drinks the whole night.
That's usually how you get drunk.
This is exactly how. I know. I should have. That was obvious. There's like people in confessionals this season, like, we have to get to ring the bell and then we might win the challenge.
It's pretty accurate.
Don't get the last amount. You don't want to get the least amount of food, because then you lose the purge and go home. So, Kara tells Ashley that she's hurt over this whole Kyle situation, and this is where my mind starts to go a little bit blank, because there was so much drunk conversation, banter during the next like 20 minutes where I couldn't understand or make out much of what was said, like, at all.
Okay, well, this conversation that happened here was basically, as you say, Kara just being like, hey, you know, I still kind of got feelings for this guy that hurt a little bit. And Ashley saying, and this is really the key word here on why Kara in this specific segment was wrong, is that she said that, I can't remember it word for word, but she said something about how Ashley said, you said that you don't care.
Yeah.
And that this stuff is fine. And then Kara says, yeah, I said that, but my shield was up and I was lying because I didn't want to get emotional. And that's where you went wrong, Kara. Because you gave someone the green light when you really didn't want to.
Yeah, but I mean, she's been doing that all season, pretending like she doesn't care when she does.
Well,
and to be
sure,
fair, Kyle's been doing the same shit.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's kind of like Kara's MO for the past, like,
it's ridiculous how Kyle,
few years.
Kyle is like really the root of all of these issues, and like no one just ever cares to like yell at him.
Yeah, to blame him.
Yeah, like he's just chilling in the background of all of these.
Yeah, he doesn't give a shit.
When like the reason why Amanda hates Kara so much is she's just annoyed by the whole Kyle situation and the dark energy that it's put over the house. Mm-hmm. As it's funny that she's talking about this dark energy as they like show a clip of her sitting at the bar with like an angered, like, judgmental face.
Yeah, it's like you're bringing down the vibes.
Bringing down the vibes, and then they show her like with this like angry, menacing look on her face. So we get back to the house, and Amanda is going on about how she doesn't like Kara to a number of men in the room, but I feel like this was edited kind of out
so that Kara could hear it. Like,
yeah, no, this
air quotes around here.
I think this happened after the original incident. Amanda actually tweeted that, so that's why I know that. But
don't say I think.
I do. I assume. Listen, I'm not trying to defend Amanda in this situation, but I'm gonna believe for that part of it because, like, that seems weird that like Kara was like overhearing her talking shit and then went in the room, and then all of a sudden she was in the bed with Joss.
All right. So what's the sequence of events?
So it was Kara like went in the room and I guess confronted Amanda Amanda confronted her or something, and they started fighting, and then when that all went away and Kara went back to her room, then Amanda was saying more shit to them, and that's what they showed her. It was already after the initial blow up that they then showed her like oh fuck her, all this, like I don't give a shit about that bitch, to whoever she was talking to, and then they tried to make it seem like Kara was overhearing it, like, and then she went, and then went, yeah, because Amanda doesn't just teleport into Joss's bed like that,
right?
So that part was out of sequence. Now, people love to play the blame game in situations like this and point fingers. The only person I truly believe was overtly wrong in this situation was Ashley, because if Amanda and Kara don't like each other and they want to fucking go at it, then let them fucking go at it. Ashley didn't need to jump in like a maniac the way that she did.
Oh, she was coming in hot too.
I don't even know what she was saying. I don't know what Amanda was saying.
Losing it.
Joss was trying to calm her down. And then Marie comes in the room like a bat out of hell. Tells
all the guys are naked.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention the best part of this. By the way, people take this shit too seriously, all right? They really had to put a bullying PSA at the end of this. Like, I don't feel like disrespected by watching this, you know? Did you?
Well,
Did you
this
feel
one,
like
this one wasn't the bullying, Piet. I figured
No, this was the the bullying was because of this.
You thought it was because of this?
Absolutely.
I thought it was because of both PSAs that got put at the end about your sexuality.
Well, the sexuality
and
one was
I thought
Natalie.
it was both related to both sides of
Natalie?
Kaylee and Natalie.
No, I'm very confident that this was the bullying.
I think it just skipped my mind because this definitely probably was the bullying part.
Yeah, and so people take this shit too seriously, man.
But I didn't look at this as a bullying situation. That's probably why I didn't think about it. I looked at this as an argument.
I said it became bullying once Ashley felt the need to insert herself like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's when Marie was like, "Okay, enough is enough," you know.
Right.
And she said, made fun of Ashley. She's like, "Show fake tits, you whore," something like that to Ashley.
Now that's definitely something I missed. Because there was a lot of bleeps from swears.
It's pretty funny. Marie maintains friends with all these girls, but she was like not afraid to joke. She was not afraid to throw some digs in there herself.
Yeah, she was. And when they were talking after the fight, like outside, she was still. The moment Ashley started talking, she just absolutely laid in there.
She's like, Ashley, shut the fuck up. You know.
Yeah. Marie was really laying down the law on Ashley.
And Bananas. Low key quite funny in this scene when he seemingly out of nowhere just comes out of the corner and is like, "No one likes you," because they were saying that to Kara, so he's just like, "No one likes you, you're the worst," or something like that, with like a big smile on his face, because Bananas knows at this point he can hold his liquor. Mm-hmm. He's never like he always looks like the sane one in these kind of situations. Like, even in the Shane argument a few weeks ago, like, what Shane was saying to him was true, but Banana still looked like the more sane person because he hadn't been pounding wine the way Shane probably was that day. So, it doesn't end there, because then this Cara goes in her room, and then Amanda follows her in her room, mm-hmm. and then this is where they're basically just doing a voiceover of a confessional while she's yelling at her, so you can't even tell what she's saying.
Yeah, it was, I think when Amanda followed her, after the fact that Cara just got, like, obliterated by, all these girls, just verbally assaulting her.
I mean, to her credit, she didn't seem that, like, nobody was crying after this.
No, but, like, after, like, you know, not necessarily losing the argument, but just being outgunned. And deciding to retreat, and then this is where like Amanda stepped it too far, because you could look at it as like, if you wanted to be vain about it, you could look at it as like, we won, she left, but then you went in and you just continued to attack. This is where you step it a little too far
to attack, not just Cara but also her horse.
Yep, she went after the horsey.
Yep. We didn't get to see the Ebola line, which was very hyped up before this season. That's why Cara, if anyone's followed her on Twitter, knows that she's been posting a lot of stuff about her horse. Mm-hmm. And pretty much for the past 3 months, alluding to this incident. And there it is tonight. And Brad's face as Brad's walking into the room as like she says it, as she's walking out, and he just like has this like shocked face, like, "Did you just say that?" She's like, "What?" Brad was probably drunk too and didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Yeah, probably. His eyes were probably like super bugged out. It's like 3 times the size of usual.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure he was in the background. Just
just dialed
I'm
in.
shocked that Shane was not in this argument at all.
You know what? I don't even think I know Nelly was there.
But Nelly didn't.
Was
like,
Shane
do
in the room?
Did Nelly do anything to hold him? I know Joss was grabbing.
No, he was just watching. But that's what I'm curious. Was Nelly in the room? I mean, Nelly was. Was Shane?
He was laying in the bed next to Joss.
Yeah. Was Shane in the room?
I assume everyone was. It seemed like everyone was in the room.
It seemed like it, but I don't remember Shane being there. There's no way Shane would have been able to help himself and stay on the sidelines. If he was in that room, he would have been right in the middle of it.
And they were also getting mad at Marie for then sticking up for Cara. But I don't even know necessarily that it was like she felt the need to stick up for Cara. I think she was
just like trying to rationalize the segment between like two sides that were being irrational.
Yeah.
And she's just trying to say like, hey, yeah, she's a bitch, but you guys are going way too far.
Exactly.
And like, Cara, you need to like not care what they think and stuff. And she's just trying to play like a little bit of devil's advocate. and the Lavender ladies in the moment weren't having any of it. But I think off screen it was probably resolved pretty
Good
well.
guy Marie this episode. I think we can agree on that.
Good gal Marie.
Good gal Marie. Well, I mean, the same thing applies.
Except for the fact that one of them refers to men and the other refers to women.
Yeah.
Besides that, I guess.
Awkward silence. Okay, well.
Do it, Brian.
Well, is there anything else? I marked down and I can't understand what anyone's saying because when Kara and Amanda were yelling in the room, like I literally couldn't. It was like a beep every 2 seconds.
Yeah, it was already hard enough, and then when
it was
Ashley,
so trashy.
When Ashley came in, it was just like a straight censor like tone.
It was Camilla vibes.
Yeah,
it really was.
I don't know if it was at that level.
Well, I mean, I haven't seen that many curses in a fight since the Camilla. Maybe when Kaylee was like yelling at the girls from below, and every other word was a censor.
No, nothing would be better than that Camilla one where she was speaking directly to the camera, and there was like an 8-second pause.
Yeah, well, I think she said something. I didn't think she was swearing. She just said something that they didn't want to air.
Yeah.
So they censored like the entire line or something.
Yeah. But they still decided to air it.
Yeah, they still decided to air it.
At that point, you might as well just not air it if you're gonna censor 90% of what she said.
All right, so the storm finally. Well, Zach also had to let it known. Zach told Amanda to shut the fuck up too.
Yeah, there's a little more. There's a good amount of people backing Kara in this.
Not as many. Well,
more than you would expect.
I mean, I don't know if Zach was even backing Kara. She was just like. Amanda had already yelled at Kara for probably 15 minutes straight at this point, and Zach just had enough of it.
Yeah, good guy Zach coming in.
He's not a good guy. Break.
Anybody who's playing Peacekeeper in any of this is just good guy or good gal.
I'm not buying Zach.
Shane is a good guy for not getting involved because he would have destroyed this.
Sylvia, good gal. She didn't get involved.
Yeah, she did. She was screaming.
I didn't see her do anything.
She was screaming and yelling too, but that was just about at the time that Ashley stood up and just let loose. So she and she was literally not only like standing in her way in terms of taking the spotlight, but I believe from the camera view was standing in front of Sylvia, so you just couldn't get any of it. But Sylvia was throwing some shade out there too, but cameras didn't pick up much.
I don't know if you've ever seen a fight where it's literally everybody in the entire house was like in one consolidated area like that. I think Jose and Devon were the only two that weren't there. Totally they were like in the other room.
Yeah.
And like they're like, your partner got your back, Kara.
Maybe Shane was like throwing up in the bathroom or something. I swear I don't remember Shane being there. But I
remember Zach, Tony, Bananas.
I bet if we watch it back, he was probably there. He can't help himself.
So finally, this storm calms down, and then we go to the other storm that's brewing in the Redemption House, as Polly and Cam all four of them have mutually decided that Natalie and Kaylee are going to try to work through their issues. So, what do you have to say about this?
All right, so it started out well. It looked like they were making strides. I was just like, all right, when's this thing going to blow up and how fast? And I was like, oh, man, there's a little bit of tension. And then they started to really resolve some stuff. I was like, this seems a little fake on both sides, but you know what? They're getting it done. All right, this is good. And I don't remember what was said to trigger the explosion and who it was by. But they seemed like they were like just so close to just wrapping this baby up, and I think it might have been Kaylee said something that triggered Natalie.
Maybe she said she wouldn't apologize for the outing.
No, thing? She did say she was sorry for it.
Okay.
It was, and that's I really can't remember what flipped the switch, but these two went at it hard, and they were getting loud and they were getting rowdy, and the censor tones were coming in
for Natalie of all people,
and they were up in each other's grill, and that's when Paulie and Cam really let the screaming fest go on for a while. But as soon as they were about to throw hands, they're like, all right, let's step in, and the security guard came out. It was a mess. These two will never like each other, and the story.
Yeah, another everyone hates you. This is why everyone hates you from Kaylee. How many times did we hear that this episode? Some variation of no one likes you.
Yeah. Which is just like, I mean, I guess if you look at it this way, the no one likes you variant is just the like default word.
Very uncreative.
It's the default comment for bullying.
Yeah, and you
Like,
should. Yeah,
like
exactly.
and like how are you just gonna rearrange these words to make it your own for the specific situation? But it is just like default comment.
That's what Wes kept saying to Kara on Rivals 1, and then Laurel confronted Wes like, "Do you have anything besides no one likes you?"
Yeah, but wasn't Wes literally only saying that? Like,
Yeah,
wasn't
he was
just
saying that,
no one
and
likes you? No one
and
likes
he
you.
dumped a bottle of soda on her.
That was like horribly too far. Like I've always liked Wes.
I believe Wes also said something about her horse back then too. I think he might have said the exact same thing. I hope your horse dies.
But I think taking shots at the horse is a way too easy of a scapegoat. Get some better content to anyone who uses that line. And pouring the soda on Kara from Wes, I think is one of the worst like bullying events that's happened.
In a white dress,
like in the entire show.
and then Laurel calling out Paula for anorexia.
Yeah, that whole night, like that went to shit so fast.
That was like a more extreme version of what we saw tonight.
Yeah. But that was like so horrible. Like I've always been, very iffy or on the not like side of Kara, but I felt like so much compassion for her when she was like crying and shaking in her white dress, like covered in Coke.
And she wasn't crying here, so that's definitely a lot of character growth.
I
mean, it's been 7 years, but
yeah, that was like horrible. That was like the worst. That was like one of the top 5 worst like segments in like challenge history.
Like of just over the top nonsense.
Yeah, that was absolute bullshit. And it is really sad that Wes perpetrated
And Bananas was against Kara back then, but now he's on her side.
Yeah, because she's a vet.
Back
then it was even worse because Wes was picking on a new kid.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like Wes did. I feel like everyone did that. Johnny has done his fair share of picking on new kids.
Yeah, but sure, I'm sure he said some mean things and beat them up in challenges and then eliminated them.
Or just thrown them into the first elimination.
Yeah, I'm sure he's done that. But this was another level of like being direct.
So, finally, after 35 minutes of just mess, we get to the challenge, Skybridge. A very deceptively hard challenge, supposedly, at least according to what we saw, although TJ, there was some shade afterwards.
I wouldn't say it was deceptively hard, because these people were reaching rather far to get the rope around the hook. Yeah, that's why I think it wasn't deceptive. Like, I think some of the shorter people, all the shorter people, like, I never actually even made it to the point to be able to start hooking. But someone like who's a shorter girl still in the game? Amanda wouldn't be able to hook anyway.
Well, she hooked it, but the problem. Well, we'll get to that.
I was thinking
Kara too.
I was thinking, Kara. I guess I was thinking more like if Kaylee was in this or Natalie was in this, they would have never been able to
Natalie.
They would not have been able to reach the hook. They're too small.
But like, I just can't believe it's 15 minutes. Like, it seems like so like simple. I didn't realize how like hard it is to balance up there. And
also, when Ashley was saying that like her arms were giving out, well, you clearly got to apply a lot of pressure. I had a very easy solution for Ashley, but she was also clearly not in a mental state to do it to begin with. She would have to be like willing to actually like participate. Would just be do what Tony and Bananas did and stand up. Because then your arms wouldn't be under so much stress anymore.
True. That's what Zach was trying to do.
Yeah.
But I feel like that really didn't work out for them because of the weight. But the first teams to go were Cara Marie and who went against them?
Cara Marie and Brad and Kyle. Yeah.
So Brad and Kyle got to like third or fourth run.
Yeah,
I think they got
third run
before their time ran out. They looked hard for them.
Uh-huh.
And Cara basically can't reach her first rope to get it around.
Well, let's just say Cara and Marie never even made it past like the second already strung rope.
No.
So That was
Cara
something.
can't reach it, and she's trying, but you can't do it. And meanwhile, on the sidelines, we got TJ.
Really laying into them.
Yeah, very harshly, like, come on, you're better than that.
They're 1,000 feet in the air. If they're scared, they're scared. Shane was puking just before even going into this segment.
And I have to call Amanda for something here because she criticized Cara for not trying in the challenge when she also pretty much didn't try in the challenge.
Didn't try and then committed seppuku.
Committed Sudoku.
All right,
Seppuku. Committed Sudoku. Same thing.
All right, sorry. I called it by the real
That was
thing.
actually funny, though.
No, my meme, I guess. Oops.
So Cara and Marie don't get it. Next up is Tony Bananas and who was the other team?
I believe it was Nelly
and Shane. Nelly and Shane did very well. Nelson was killing it.
Shane was killing
Shane was killing it too. They were both
because Nelly was actually the reason why they lost.
They almost got to the fifth one.
Nelly was the reason why they lost it when he got a little bit tangled, and Shane was the one that was puking his brains out earlier, but he was in control of this, calling the shots and making sure they got some stuff done. Shane was doing a damn good job.
Yeah. Even though he was admittedly terrified, and I believe he has like some pretty bad case of vertigo.
Yeah.
Which he spoke about before. Still did really well. Sometimes you just gotta buckle up and do it. This was one of those challenges where it's definitely favored the guy teams, which we haven't really had one of these in a while.
No, that's something that's something that I like to see between you just don't see that often anymore. Of like a veteran presence where they just understand, like, just put your head down and let's do this.
I feel like
someone
most
like
of
Brad
the good
did
vets are like that. Like,
yeah,
Cara
exactly.
is usually like that. That's why.
Exactly. Like, and Brad's like
Bananas.
that. Someone who is always like that
CT.
for a girl, Camilla. Just
Camilla is the
do
greatest heights performer in the history of the challenge. She always kills anything that's like heights related and is never afraid.
Really? You gonna throw that out there?
Yes.
That call
hot
it the greatest heights performer.
The greatest heights performer in the history of the challenge is Camilla.
Male or female, Camilla?
Yes, male or female. I don't know. I don't know any gauge males, but like it seems like anytime there's a height challenge, she kills it. Over water, over a building, it doesn't matter.
Right.
She could freak out. She might freak out sometimes and pretend like she's scared. I say pretend because like I don't. Like when she was freaking out during the trivia challenge that one time.
I think she is scared, but she's just still she just still like knows.
It was like that challenge on I think it was Free Agents where everyone like the first like 4 people that went all fell and they were like, well, we're putting our faith in Camilla, so that's a good thing. And then Camilla basically runs out, grabs the flag and on that little like spinny log thing, grabs the flag, hangs it up in like 9 seconds after like nobody could do it.
How did she do on the one? I think it was on Dirty 30. That it was like
you had to walk out on the
you had to walk out.
She won her heat, but I think Jenna had a faster time than her.
Yeah. It's close. And didn't Veronica just absolutely suck on that one?
Well, it was like the dumbest challenge. It was literally like really just three like lines basically, and you had to walk on the lines and hit a button at the end.
Yeah, it was a really weak challenge. Interesting that Jenna killed it on that one.
Yeah.
That's a.
And then she sent Veronica to redemption instead of Tori, which ultimately killed her game.
Womp, womp, womp.
Tony Bananas out of the house. Finish the challenge and get their first W of the season. Well, spoiler alert, it will be their first W of the season.
No, there's no spoilers because it was.
I know, but I'm basically just saying something I was going to say later. That's okay. All. But they were the only team to finish it.
Yes, they were.
And
Nelly and Shane did do second best.
Next up, we got Amanda and Zach and Joss and Sylvia. Sylvia needs to stop saying during every challenge that her and Joss have communication problems.
She just says it in confessionals.
I feel like she just but I feel like she just says it because she has nothing else to say, and that's just her go-to. Like because that never has anything insightful going on. Like during
that's because they're boring in like that regard. For like TV time, they're just there because. Every once in a while when Sylvia blows up, it's really good. And Josh is really good at performing.
Yeah.
Not to say that Sylvia's not, 'cause she is good at performing. But they get to stick around because of their performance. And when Sylvia gets hot and going, she fucking goes.
Yeah, but we haven't seen that on the challenge.
Nope. I was just thinking after the episode, like, man, how I desperately want a Sylvia and Joss elimination. Like, I don't care who they're against. Did they?
Yeah, they beat Derek and Tori. You forgot already?
Who are they? What?
They
No?
beat Derek and Tori
When?
like a few weeks ago. Like 4 weeks ago.
What was the elimination?
It was like the half pipe, and you had to run up the half pipe.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
That was so boring, though.
It was pretty boring. There won't be any, like, because of the contact, because of the male-female team thing, like, there won't be any contact eliminations. They can't.
I need that.
No, they're not. Well, it's not going to happen.
I
And the one contact challenge they did was Shane fucking threw it, so it didn't
Like,
even matter.
I need producers to intervene when they know that like Joss and Sylvia are gonna go in and like purposely make an elimination that's physical for them, like how they've done in the past whenever Leroy goes into elimination. Like, what do you know? It's a physical one. Like,
Freaking Leroy.
who would have thought? Like, I just need that. I need the producers to pull a little bit of weight for me here, because I just want to see. I want to see something like the Joss and Derek thing again.
Yeah. Well, then people will be hurt and not be able to come back to the house because they'll be too injured, which is what happened there.
Well, yeah, Veronica did break her pinky.
I mean, Joss hurt his arm. He wasn't going to come. Even if he won that, he wasn't coming back.
Yeah, you
No.
know, I'm usually
He was in a
pretty
cast.
usually pretty bad about, or like hard on the injury stuff, but that seemed like the Veronica one seemed like very freak.
Anytime you're doing a wrestling thing like that, it's always a risk, though.
Like, yeah, that one, the Veronica thing seemed very freak, and I'm surprised. I'm sure Derek walked away with some wounds too. Like, that guy, like that was an elimination on a whole nother level of physicality. But what you could do to maybe not break everybody's wrists on that one, that could have been in part because of the
How much yanking and tugging he was doing on the...
No, the figure 8.
Yeah.
Like that they used like an X, like the old days or something.
It should have just been an X. Like, you didn't need to...
An X or a pole, or
That
just
helps.
like something that's a lot simpler. You're gonna do a lot less wrist twisting because you're not allowed to grip it in the same fashion as you can for a for the figure 8, where you could do a full closed fist grip. While like on the X's, like those the wooden X's were a lot thicker, so you're riding it more like I don't know, like monkey bars or something, where like a thick monkey bar where you can't fully wrap your hands around it.
Well, enough about injuries, because luckily there hasn't been any this season. Thankfully.
So far, but I'm just waiting for them to hang some cars in the air over water, and then we're having an injury or 4.
I mean, 4. There was more than 4, I think, on the last one.
Yeah, I think it was 5.
So next up we have Zach and Amanda, and then Joss and Sylvia. I already said that, Joss and Sylvia. Amanda gets her thing around, but it's too loose. So Zach tries to tell her she's gonna have to fix that, and then Amanda basically can't do it. And not only does she not do it, decides, oh fuck this, I'm dropping Zach. I don't give a shit. And then down she goes. First person to fall on the challenge. I was surprised that Zach still didn't like lay into her as much as he did. I mean, she basically gave up.
Yeah,
I'd say they would have done much. They
Zach's,
probably would not have gotten to the rung. She probably would have just ended up falling.
Zach is like developing like CT did, but a lot faster. Like being like this major hothead that's fighting everybody to just being like this chill, lax guy.
He even called her babe.
Yeah, I'm sure that was a slip.
But he did say in his confessional that he was trying to convince her that she wasn't worthless in the challenge.
Yeah. So but yeah, what do you think about that? About that little take?
What?
That I just threw out there.
I don't buy it.
That he's
I think he's
just
I think
like a
he's
faster evolving
I think
CT.
he's self-aware enough to not do some bullshit on camera.
Mm-hmm. You think that's what it is?
Yeah, I think that's mostly what it is.
You don't think he's turning into a dad?
I don't think the CT thing is. I think the CT thing has also been overplayed. I mean, if CT was still a raging cokehead at the age that he's at, it would be quite disturbing.
Yeah, well, he's like 40.
And they've made it a point to edit like, oh, CT, what a changed man. The CT's probably still a jerk sometimes. CT's always had like a funny side to him, so like we're seeing that now mostly get highlighted, but that's always been there.
Right.
But just the real like nasty side of CT.
Is that like proven that he's a raging croquehead?
I mean, he punched a guy he got eliminated because he was on coke and punched a guy.
He was on coke
when
he punched him?
Yes, that's the rumor. that he was on coke. I don't know how they get fucking coke in the house, but I think he actually may have confirmed that.
Damn it, CT.
Verbatim. Because that really made no sense. He punched a guy. He like told the guys like, "Have you ever been punched in the face or something like that?" He's like, "Could you take a punch in the face, and then just punch the guy in the face, and the guy stay home?" It was like the dumbest thing. It was like before any challenges even happened.
Freaking CT
on the Inferno 3, the lost season.
R.I.P.
So Amanda kills herself in the challenge, and Joss also falls. So Joss was pretending like it was a midair track meet.
And then he was running to her.
Yeah, he was trying to run to her. Even though it's not exactly.
She also said at one point when I'm cuddling, like earlier when I'm cuddling with my boyfriend. So at this point they decided that they're dating.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
like very early
for challenge purposes. Yeah.
Yep.
And then Zach says that we were up to this point because mostly me. He says.
Well, I would say it's more him.
I mean, it's more the big strong dude versus the shorter girl. Yes.
Yeah. This segment or this like past week or so has been I looked at that confessional and kind of looked at it as a review of the episode, and it had been mostly Zach.
Yeah.
For the challenge and like having this crazy teammate that's just burning every bridge.
Well, I don't think she's burning any bridges. I mean, I don't think it's really.
I mean, as a figure of speech, like like coming in here, like throwing fire.
Like they're still not a target.
Yeah, that's because they're not a target because of Zach.
Yeah, because Zach has an alliance with like everybody in the house that Amanda doesn't have an alliance with.
I'm saying that regardless, they're not a target because of Zach. Regardless of alliances. Because one of those
teams.
Zach is just too strong to like.
Well, and also like
worried about
Bananas and Tony won't go after them because Zach is on that team. Like they'd rather go after Hunter and Ashley or somebody like that over them.
Wow.
Yeah. So finally, we get Hunter and Ashley versus Jose and Devon. Jose and Devon fight effortlessly, fight very valiantly to finally get that one rope across in the 15 minutes. That's kind of it with them. They were pretty nondescript. But Ashley, total meltdown here.
Yep, she was done though.
Can't get the rope in. This is the difference between Ashley and Amanda. Amanda doesn't care that much, so she just drops. But Ashley's like freaking out. It's like, I can't do it. I can't do it. I think Ashley's just ultra competitive, and anytime she's in a position where like she can't do something, that's when like the meltdown happens, or when she just hates losing. And when she knew that she wasn't gonna get there is when she started to freak out the way she did.
Yep.
And resigned to her fate. And just crawled off the end of the thing.
R.I.P. Ashley.
So TJ, not happy with all these people deciding to dip on this challenge.
He was giving them some shit.
Breaks the fourth wall by showing footage of the testers doing it in 10 minutes.
Yep. That was a fourth wall break.
I've never seen them do something like that before. I'm not sure. Maybe they tested it and it wasn't 10,000 feet in the air.
It was 1,000.
Well, it was 1,000. Yeah, that 10,000's a bit much. But maybe when they tested it, it wasn't 1,000 feet.
10,000's like you skydive at.
Yeah, 10,000. Yeah,
no, I think it's 20,000. You skydive.
1,000. It was 1,000 feet.
Yeah,
that's what they said. But maybe they weren't hanging 1,000 feet. It was just like kind of like a lower thing, and they were just testing to see if it would work, and then they put him up higher. But either way, not a good performance by a lot of the people. I guess this challenge was not that difficult, apparently, according to TJ.
Well, TJ was watching some seasoned pros do it then on the testing.
I wonder who they get to do those testers.
Camilla.
They get some like parkour people.
Probably just grab Camilla.
Like, who were they testing on those damn car challenges? I think that was a good idea.
Probably Camilla. It's just
that's her new role now.
She's the tester because she's just gonna kill it and she's gonna have no fear and she's probably just gonna absolutely destroy any time.
Well, that was pretty much a Hunter and Ashley. Then basically, like, it's so amazing. I still don't get. I like Ashley sometimes, but I just don't get her. Like, how quickly she just goes into this like mode where all of a sudden it's like, I hate Hunter so much I want to spit at him. Like, they were just friends, like, and everything was fine.
She's really, she really has like a personality, some personality mood swings that happen where she'll just like go from like Ashley to Smashly that's not actually like drunk, just like this crazy Ashley version.
It's nuts. She stormed off,
Yeah,
said that she wants to go home. Her catchphrase.
Yeah, Ashley's catchphrase. I want to go home.
Yep.
I'm done. I'm so
Even
done
though
with this.
we're late into the game, we're only. They're still actually not as late as you would think, but.
What are we, like 2 episodes in for like Ashley's stay?
3.
2, 3. Throwing the I want to go home.
Yep. So, Bananas and Tony won the challenge, which we already said, and that was it for the episode.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it was. So you know what that means, Brian?
Time for the sauna.
Yeah, and it's not even hot anymore. We're getting out of the dog days of summer, and it's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, like my room's pretty nice right now. I don't know if I'm gonna put on the AC. I think I'm just gonna like run with the fan.
I'd put the AC on. I gotta have the AC on. You just wrap yourself in a blanket. It feels great.
I hate waking up because it's too cold, though.
I don't wake up because you wake up because it's too cold. That's weird.
Yeah, I do it all the time.
Because of the AC is too cold.
Yeah, but like I'll wake up like a couple times. While on the contrary, if it was too hot, it'd just be unbearable.
That's weird.
I've never. Have you never had like your AC at like way too low, like at like 66, 67?
No, I have central.
And you have a AC unit in your window, Brian.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
I used to. And I would just blast it and I would go to sleep and sleep great.
Yeah, and clearly like you've never had like do you sleep with a shirt on?
Yes.
That'll do it.
Oh, okay.
That'll definitely do it.
I mean, sometimes I'll take the shirt off if it's too hot during like the wintertime. And it's like my room's just super hot because the heat is on.
No, it's definitely the shirt off because like if you have your shirt off and like your shoulders are going to be exposed out of the bed, that gets cold.
Oh, okay. Well,
like,
maybe you should sleep with a damn shirt on.
They're just freeze up. But I used to. Remember, like in high school times, I used to go to bed in what I was wearing.
Yeah, you used to go to sleep in jeans.
Jeans, belt, a shirt, hoodie,
whatever
I was wearing. I would be
like a turtleneck,
multiple layers, and it would
like
be
a thermal shirt.
It would be like October, like colder but not like freezing, and I would just go right in.
I don't know how you
long sleeve shirt, hoodie, jeans, belt, just boom, socks on.
A really fascinating story here to start the sauna. Some real hot takes coming out from you that you enjoy sleeping in that garner.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's weird. I don't anymore.
You don't anymore.
It slowly moved down to just like pants and like shorts and t-shirt. And if I was wearing jeans, I'd usually take them off. But like I wouldn't change my attire if I was wearing shorts and a t-shirt. To now, I just like can't. I just can't do it.
You can't even.
If I have a shirt on, it's just like, oh, this is too restrictive. It's got to go. If I have pants on, like I'm like, what am I even thinking? Like it's got to go. Just like Hardcore Holly.
That's like go. No one will get that reference.
No one's gonna get that.
So in the sauna. So you want to go first because you have 3.
Sure thing. Let's see. All right, I'll do this one. I have Cam and Kaylee will pull the double cross.
You're thinking way down the line.
And choose Paulie and Natalie. And the reason why I've decided this is that for them it's a win-win.
They think it's a free
because they think that I feel like that they think that they can beat them. 1, 2, if they lose, they're still in the game, and the guy Paulie that they like is still in the game.
Do they like Paulie though? Really? They just went to Redemption House and were friendly with him for 5 minutes, and you're already proclaiming
they seemed really happy with Paulie. And if they win, so if they lose, Paulie gets to go on. But if they win, then they've eliminated Natalie, who they can't stand.
True. But I think,
and they got to personally do it.
I think the main issue, they wouldn't eliminate her though. She'd go back to Redemption House.
Yeah, but it feels good. It feels good beating her in elimination.
Unless that would be the last redemption, which I would hope, because we're getting close to the end here. Like there can't be that much more.
Yeah,
but I think there maybe one redemption left, and the team actually goes home.
I'm not speaking of the results of their outcome, but I think that it's going to be like one of those things where they're going to see a lot of satisfaction in potentially beating Natalie, but also not be too upset because they're let Paulie advance.
All right, fair enough. So my first one is TJ was very upset. So I'm going to throw it out there that I think old 40-man TJ could have went up there and done this challenge, grabbed another producer, and he could have done this faster than everyone on the show.
That's super hot because I feel like TJ doesn't even work out.
Oh, he does. They showed him doing that mountain dive challenge from a couple seasons ago on Invasion. The one where Corey and Theo quit because he couldn't want to grab the balls.
Oh, what afterwards?
I mean, that
was prove a point by jumping off.
Yeah, he proved the point by he wanted to do it, so they filmed the video of him going and doing it. Fuck it, TJ could have done it.
TJ could have done it. All right. How about you hit me with your other one?
My other one is that despite the claim that she made this episode at the very end, Ashley will not utter the words I want to go home, or I'm going home, or I'm quitting for the rest of the season, and they will make the final. We'll have a nice therapy session. Everything will be okay. And then things will be mostly smooth sailing for them the rest of the way. Now that is a hot take because the preview already shows them yelling at each other, which not looking good so far, but I'm going to say it.
All right, and my take is that Ashley quits again because that's what she's good at.
She's done it once.
And didn't she leave the
because her dad died. That counts.
Yeah, well, she left.
Because her dad died. That doesn't count as quitting.
I'm not using the word quitting for that, but she left.
But that shouldn't be used against her in this situation.
The past 2 seasons she has been on, she has exited prematurely.
Yes, but again...
She has not been eliminated since her... ever, right? No, since season 28.
Yeah.
It'd be the last...
She got eliminated on Champs vs. Pros.
Or 29 when she
got eliminated on Champs
vs. 28. Rivals 3 when she lost to... when she lost to Nasty Nate and Christina, right?
And Rivals... Well, on Champs vs. Stars 2, she lost to Kayla, too. You didn't see that. But she lost to Kayla on that. So.
Interesting.
She didn't quit, but Kayla beat her. Kayla, that's a throwback at this point. The season's been so goddamn long. You forget that Kayla was even on this at one point.
And the season also has not had like any barn burners yet.
What do you mean, like
that's like an awesome episode.
I mean that I thought the 7th episode was really good when Kaylee pulled all that trickery out and there was a challenge and elimination.
Yeah, that was probably the best episode. But like think about it, by episode 10, we had like 3 great episodes in Final Reckoning. I mean, not Final Reckoning, sorry, Vendettas.
Yeah.
Like they were really lighting it up in Vendettas.
All right, so what's your bombshell?
Well, here we are. We are ending this baby on a bombshell, as we do. And this one's a little extreme.
Okay.
All right, I got Amanda will be voted out by the Lavender ladies.
Voted out? What do you mean by voted out? Like,
I mean that they're sending her to elimination.
They'll just mutually decide
of the Lavender. Like my idea here is that basically the Lavender ladies crew is going to go pretty far.
Well, they're already far.
Yes, and it's going to get to a point where it's going to start being time to pick each other off.
I mean, I kind of already said this a few weeks ago.
And I'm saying that the one that they're going to take out is Amanda because she has the strongest male competitor with her or the strongest unit of those 4 teams. I think Zach and Amanda is better than Joss Sylvia, Shane Nelly, and Ashley Hunter.
Yeah.
So I think they're gonna gun to take that off so the other 3 have a better chance.
All right. Well, I kind of already said this, not necessarily that they would turn on her, but that Zach and Amanda, despite looking like the best team on paper, would end up being the one that gets the short end of the stick at the end. Mm-hmm. And like multiple Lavender later teams end up in the final. Maybe even all of them.
Well,
except for them.
How many teams do you think are running the final?
At least 3, probably 3 or 4.
Usually it's 3.
Yeah,
but
I mean they did 8 on Vendetta.
This is a very extra season, so
maybe it's like 6 teams in the final. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, how many teams are there total? 17 with the of the 15 original
with
plus
the 2. And how many teams have gone home? 5, plus Kayla and Melissa DQ. So that's
So
6
teams.
Yeah, so currently we're at 10 teams in the game, 8 in main house, 2 in redemption, as well as Devin and Corey still coming in. How lucky are they that they get to come in this late?
This is
This is ridiculous.
It is crazy.
We're there, and they weren't even advertised for next week.
No.
So we could be looking at episode 13, them coming into the game.
13 or 14.
That's crazy. It has to be by 13.
Yeah.
There's no way it's any later than that.
And how many episodes?
It's not this elimination.
How many
has to be the
episodes
next
is
one.
this season? Like 17?
18, I heard.
18?
So the final is probably going to be
God.
rushed.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know. How are they going to get through this? It's going to be fun to watch because they need to pick this up and go all in on the competition for the rest of the way. I feel like this episode was the last one that's going to be mainly drama. Like they had to get this big Lavender Lady car fight.
So you think that they're actually going to start
They
doing
have
the
to.
challenge?
Well, they have to.
Like
That's
doing
what they've done the
show's
past
about?
few seasons. Dirty 30 was like this too. It was a slow burn, and then the last few episodes was super quick. Next thing you know, the final was set.
Boop.
Yeah. He's like, oh, another purge. There goes 4 people.
Well, there you have it, kiddos. I think that's gonna do it.
Shout out to Amanda, followed me on Twitter.
Yeah,
No, you were kind of bitch this episode. You were a total bitch this episode. I'm not going to sugarcoat it.
Oh well, yeah. Shout out Brian. Brian got Amanda to follow him on Twitter. So that's definitely your. Is that your highest?
What? Highest accomplishment on Twitter? I mean,
No, I meant to say like of a user following you. Is that like someone who has the biggest following?
She doesn't have a great following. He was like, but this is my favorite person. So.
But is that I'm saying like in terms of like that?
Oh, that is
person,
the person with the highest out of all my followers. She is the person who has the highest amount of followers. Yes.
Okay. You're
That's what
not
you're doing.
followed by like any other challenge people.
Shane. Amanda and Shane. That's it. Shane followed me a while ago.
That a boy Shane.
Yeah. He doesn't really like any of my tweets though.
Does Amanda ever like your tweets?
Yeah, she does. She's liked a lot, but even before she followed me. So.
Yeah. There you go. Does she have more followers than Paul LaDuca?
I don't know. Probably not. Paul Duco is a.
For those who don't know, Paul LaDuca, Mets legendary catcher, follows me on Twitter.
Legendary catcher. You really just said legendary catcher.
I only say legendary because he was on a good team. He was on the 06 Mets.
Oh boy, the team that choked couldn't beat the Cardinals for the
World
Series.
They didn't choke. Billy Wagner choked.
It wasn't Billy Wagner's fault. It's Aaron Heilman.
Aaron Heilman.
Well, nobody on. I guarantee no one on this podcast knows who that is.
Aaron Heilman. Yeah, but they do know who. You do know who hit the home run off Aaron Heilman.
Dowdy or Molina?
Yeah, a few people might know who
I
that
don't know.
is.
People aren't like baseball anymore. I feel like there's not many challenge fans that would like baseball. I just throwing that out there.
You don't think there's correlation?
No, especially 2006 baseball.
Yeah. I remember watching that game live, and my heart breaking.
Of course. Well, at least your team didn't blow a 3-0 lead to their division rival.
Yeah, but we did blow 3 saves in the World Series in 2015. So.
Well, that's gonna do it.
Yeah, I think that's it. Right now, this moment.
Bye.
Here. Tonight.
Starting now. Ending now.
In this very moment. Right now. It will end.